songs ain't charted. Strandz had one, but we knew it wasn't lasting. Coming for the next because I'm happy as a target.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
What's good, my LiTTyENT? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video with the equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing LiTTyENT. I already know what time it is. Now let's go. Now guys, the F3 in the UK, it just continues and continues. And this time, it looks like it's with none other than the cheeky chappy himself, Arrdee, as he's taking a couple shots at all the newcomers in the UK rap scene, and it's looking very pathetic. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but we're gonna break it down in way more detail. We already know what you gotta do. You just gotta like, comment, subscribe, jump in, drop a banger like this one, and hit that noti because you ain't an idiot, so you can be the first to know when one of these videos comes out. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with the current beef going on in the US between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Unfortunately, in the UK, we haven't seen any beef like that in quite a long time. But don't worry guys, Arrdee is here to quench our thirst for UK rap beef, pause, no Diddy, with his new If the Shoe Fits freestyle, where he seems to be taking shots at Nemzzz, Strandz, Wayne, and Digga D. And I'm so sorry, but before we get into the lyrics, I have to say first and foremost, this song was complete trash. Absolutely corny and pathetic from top to bottom. Arrdee got on this track and he was talking like he's been in the game for 10 years or something like that. Like, relax, bro. There's people that have been in uni for longer than you've been in the UK rap scene. Like, you need to allow it. But once we break down the lyrics, you'll understand in more detail. So the first lyrical venom that Arrdee decides to spit is, where the F are all the newcomers? I told them not to take the piss. I took the piss, came in to do numbers. Now they all have one hit and quit. New kids can't last 2 summers. Now Arrdee, I'm not gonna lie, first things first, you didn't even last 2 summers, big man. You had 2021 summer on lock, I will give you that. Everything you touched turned to gold back then, pause, no Diddy. But in 2022, after your album came out and it was pretty mid, let's be honest, you pretty much disappeared for the rest of the year. 2023, you were non-existent. And 2024, you've been as quiet as a tea kettle as well. So I don't really know what you're talking about here.
I don't know.
But of course, let's get down to the nitty gritty. As Arrdee continues and says, I came different when I started, had to have the hits to be the best new coming artist. How you think they're sick when they can't hit bigger markets? Nemzzz songs ain't charted. Strandz had one, but we knew it wasn't lasting. Coming for their next because I'm happy as the target. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is a real pum-pum move coming from Arrdee and his camp. It's just so lame, because if you don't already know, when he initially put out the song or the teaser for this song, he bleeped out the names of the individuals in question. As you can see from the lyrics, their names are blurred out because that's how he dropped the song first of all. But because no one gave a shit about the song he was dropping, and because we're in the middle of arguably one of the biggest rap beefs of all time, so I don't even know why you would even drop music in the first place. Again, another poor oversight from Arrdee and his team. Nobody was interested in this song. So Arrdee and his team had the genius idea of deciding to release the song again via social media. But with the names unbleeped, saying Nemzz's songs haven't charted and Strandz had one, but we knew it wasn't lasting.
Them songs ain't charted. Strandz had one, but we knew it wasn't lasting. Coming for the next. Actually, I don't give a shit.
Now, again, I can't stress enough how corny and how pathetic this whole situation is. But I will say that he is right about Nemzzz, I can't lie, because none of his songs have actually charted on the UK singles chart, despite their virality on TikTok and other platforms. However, saying that Strandz' song didn't last when it was the biggest selling UK single of 2023 behind Dave and Central C Sprinter is a bit disingenuous, to say the least. But again, I just have to say that this is one of the infinite signs of corniness, patheticness, and just all around lameness throughout this entire song. Arrdee, this is just a jabroni move to the highest degree. The fact that you bleeped out the names at first and then ended up revealing them because no one cared, and the fact that you've now revealed them and people still don't even care that much, it's honestly just completely and utterly embarrassing, Arrdee. Whoever is at Arddee's label that came up with this idea should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. And I echo a similar sentiment that I said to Aitch's team on that video where he was doing that nonsense with someone writing lipstick on his car. What do you guys expect to gain from antics like this? In fact, you know what? I'll save my analysis of that until the end. Let's just keep going with these lyrics.
Keep going.
Ardee's lyrical leprosy continues as he says, ask T on how I do it in the booth. He'll tell you there ain't no one like me. 20 minutes and the tune's done. I want no other rapper friends so they can chat in their DMs about I'm dead. Your biggest hit's the one I worked on. Revive certain man's careers and never had no cheers.
Cap.
If you're not aware, he was obviously talking about Digga D, because there was a whole situation where Digga D's DMs got leaked on Instagram and it exposed that him and his boys were saying that Arrdee is shit and blah blah blah, but just because he goes viral on TikTok they'll work with him, something of that nature. Don't quote me verbatim on that, but again, I have to say this just looks even more pathetic and even more corny again, because from what I remember, Digga D apologized to Arrdee. He did a whole thing on stage where he said, he's going to be a man and he's going to admit that it was wrong that those things got leaked and the song wouldn't be what it was without him. And then Arrdee even said in an interview that he didn't feel any way about the leaked DMs. So now coming back 2 years later and 3 years later, however long it was, and saying that you feel a way again, it's just like you're begging it, Arrdee. Like, what are you really doing? Like, you're just begging. You're fiending for beef. You're reaching for beef and there's just no beef there. Digga D's in jail, for crying out loud. He's not going to respond to you in a diss track. Like, what the fuck are we even doing? Like, what? How are these people able to work in the industry? Who are these people that are making these decisions? Because don't get me wrong, this is not Arddee's idea. This is the people behind Arrdee that have given him this idea to go and call out these people. But in terms of what Arrdee was actually saying, I mean, did you give him his biggest hit of his career?
I don't know.
The song's gold, but I think Digga D has another gold song as well. I think Woy is gold, and the Bringing It Back song with AJ Tracey might be gold too. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's his biggest hit. And to be honest, I don't think that song is ever getting spun in the club or at a motive. I wouldn't consider that song to be a highlight in Digga D's discography in any stretch of the imagination. So
I'm just saying.
yeah, I wouldn't consider that something to be proud of. Yeah, it did chart at number 6, but you were just viral at that time, Arrdee. So as I said, anything you touch turned to gold. Pause, no Diddy. And reviving certain man's careers, I mean, I don't know who he's talking about there, but let's do a deep dive. Arrdee has only worked with a handful of people, including Tion Wayne, Aitch, Rimzy, Russ, Digga D and Bugsy Malone. Now, Tion Wayne and Russ, of course, he worked with them on Body, and they were already on a run before, so I can't really say that he revived them per se, and he can't really say it either. Digga D was already popping that year. He charted 3 times before that Wasted song with Arrdee, so it can't be him. The song he made with Bugsy Malone charted at 58, and the song he made with Rimzy didn't even chart at all, so surely he can't be talking about them two. There's no revival there. If anything, that's a burial. I can't lie. Therefore, the only person left is Aitch. I mean, Aitch did have a pretty quiet 2021. Most of his songs weren't even getting into the top 50. And then his first single of 2022 with Arrdee goes number 6 on the UK singles chart. And then he goes on to get a platinum record with Baby. So is Arrdee saying that he revived Aitch's career? Man, sound like some Milky Bar violence. You know what I mean? I haven't really seen those two together recently as well. So, I mean, that wouldn't be too far out the realm of possibility to assume that's who he was talking about. But you gotta speculate to accumulate. Now, of course, I have to say, if I haven't said it enough already, this is completely and utterly pathetic. You can tell hands down that this is something that was fueled by the label. They've seen what's going on in America. They've seen the views, the success Drake and Kendrick are having, going back and forth with each other now, and they just wanted to get a little piece of the pie. And since Arrdee is nowhere near on the level of those two aforementioned artists and not on the lyrical ability of a Dave or a Stormzy to diss them, who's left other than the, you know, quote-unquote newcomers like Strandz and Nemzzz and people of like that? And honestly, I think it's things like this why UK rap doesn't get taken seriously around the world. You know, Arrdee, take this down. This is embarrassing. I'm getting third-hand embarrassment watching these videos. You had one good year. And so far, you haven't been able to replicate that success in any way, shape, or form. So who are you to talk about these newcomers on their year one? You're in year what? You started in 2021, so this will be your 4th year, I guess, technically. And it's been a long time since you've seen the top 10 or top 20. So, well, maybe top 20. I have to fact check the top 20, but you definitely haven't seen top 10 in a while. So I don't think you're in any position to lecture the newcomers on what they should or shouldn't be doing. At least Strandz built his hit. It was a solo hit. You basically just jumped on to a hit that already had like 10 other people on it already. It was already guaranteed to be successful. Did you have the standout verse on it? Of course. And did that verse help propel it to the success as well? Most definitely. But we're not gonna just sit here and act like, you know, you just heat it up one day and like, come on, man, that's disingenuous. But in the words of Heady One,
it's a bit of a sticky one still.
But let me know if you think about this in the comment section down below. What do you think about this Arrdee diss track, I guess is the term technically that we would call it? Do you think this is corny or lame, or do you think this is the UK rap beef we need to see? Do you want to see Arrdee versus Strandz or Arrdee versus Nemzzz? Strandz and Nemzzz, don't reply to this. Does not warrant a reply. Don't make a diss track. Don't do nothing like that. All this needs is a IG post with some, I don't know, that 50 Cent meme that says, "What'd you say for me for?" Just put that there and we're all good, man. We don't need diss tracks from either of you two gentlemen. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the road to 2,000 subs. You already know what time it is. Follow my personal IG at theonlylitt. If you care about what I do, I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there, because what else do you do with your life? Absolutely nothing, mate. I bet. Peace.
Oh, you ain't know I could sing.